Andrea,
Yes?
Dr. Blight would like to see you right now.
Oh, thank you.
Come in. Hello.
Hi, Dr. Blight.
You must be Gloria, and this is Andrea. I see. Hi.
Hi.
This is Andrea.
Yeah, I'm Mrs. Adams. I'm Andrea's mom.
I'm Dr. Blight. So, how are you?
I'm good. I'm really worried about Andrea.
What seems to be the problem?
Well, as you can see, she's suffering a lot from sunburn. I took her to the beach earlier today, and we weren't even in the beach that long, maybe 5 minutes tops. But and I covered her with sunscreen, and I don't know why, but she has a lot of sunburn.
Is this the first time this has happened?
Well, this is the first time I took her to the beach, so.
That's weird. May I see her? Let's see. Sure. Oh wow, she has a lot of freckles. Is that from her father?
Funny you asked that. She developed that like a month back, and we were very surprised because none of our family members have freckles.
You know, I don't know. Usually freckles don't really develop in infants at this age. But I'm not 100% sure what we're dealing with here. But what we can do is we can run some tests, perhaps perform some skin biopsies, and try and see what's going on here. It could be like an allergic reaction, or it could just be like some really, really bad sunburns. But for the most part, I'm not 100% sure what this is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna perform some tests on her. But I've never really seen this before, especially not in an infant. But the only other thing that it could be is a rare genetic disorder, but I don't want you to think that.
Oh, I mean, could it be that? I'm really worried.
You know, we're gonna have to do some tests first to make sure that she's okay, and for now just try and keep her out of the sunlight, perhaps cover her head with a hat and make sure she's not wearing a t-shirt, so maybe grab like a jacket or something for her just to cover her entire skin, and try and limit any UV exposure for now. So, but I will send you home with some ointments, and make sure to also put sunscreen on her.
Okay, I will.
Yeah,
Thank
of course.
you so much, doctor.
Yeah, of course. Have a great one.
You too.
Come in.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, of course. So we've gotten the test results back. Please sit down. So, unfortunately, the results concluded that your daughter has XP.
What? What is XP?
XP, that's the abbreviation. It's actually called Xeroderma Pigmentosum, and it's a light sensitivity disorder. So, some symptoms of this disorder are freckling, sunburns that ooze and don't really heal, just red, rosy cheeks, and just very like red skin all over. Pretty much on the cellular level, it has to do with a lack of a certain protein that your daughter doesn't have. She unfortunately is pretty much missing DNA.
What?
Yeah, it's a kind of,
What does that mean?
it's a very weird concept to grasp, but she's missing a certain type of protein called NER proteins. They're also known as nuclear excision repair proteins, and they have to do with UV damage and helping heal UV damage. And with her skin, as you can see, her sunburns and her freckles haven't gotten any better, so that leads me to believe that she has this disorder, and it affects about 1 in 1 million people. It's very, very rare, and so far what I can tell you right now is there isn't a cure, but don't be worried.
What? There
Yeah.
isn't a cure. What am I gonna do?
So there are some treatment options. Unfortunately, gene therapy isn't a reliable option right now because it's still kind of in the making and it's very new, and that wouldn't really work, especially because you wouldn't want your daughter being a test subject. For now, I'm gonna say that most of the treatment options are just preventative care, so trying to prevent this disorder from getting any worse. Your daughter is going to be living with this disorder for the rest of her life, so perhaps you might want to consider homeschooling her, because obviously she might get bullied, and she can't even go out in the sun anyway. She won't be able to play with the other children. So right now I'm gonna have to tell you to try and just limit her sun exposure. Please don't expose any skin in the sun. If anything, make sure she has like the highest SPF sunscreen on at all times, and make sure she has clothing that covers her entire body, like a hat to cover her face. This is a very rare genetic disorder, and there aren't a lot of places and people to talk to at the moment, but there is a wonderful resource that I can show you right now. But there's a website called the Xeroderma Pigmentosum Society, and it will have you learn more about the disorder itself. It'll give you more information, because I barely know anything about this because I've never seen it, but it has a lot of great resources for people that suffer from the disorder or family members, and they also have a little discussion board where other parents talk to specialists and stuff about like other ways to help their child. But I'm definitely available to be her doctor to try and help that and her symptoms. So if any of the sunburns progress any further, we'd probably have to do more biopsies, and any malignant tumor growth we're going to have to get rid of, so cutting out any skin cancer. But unfortunately that's all I can really tell you right now, but you can definitely look at this website. It's a great resource. And I did some research into that, and they also have a summer camp called Camp Sundown that is free for any children suffering from any like light sensitivity disorders. So I definitely think that she should be a part of that when she gets a little older, but for now she needs to just get out of the sun, and she needs to just stay at home and be covered. What we can do is we can do some like everyday checkups, or not every day, but probably like monthly checkups to see how she's doing, how she's progressing, and if there's any treatments that come up, I will let you know for sure. But you might want to see a more specialized doctor that knows more about this. So that's probably your best option right now.
Alright. Well, thank you so much, doctor.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you. Well, I really hope she's gonna be okay.